This is Tage Thompson. You're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. Obes, the Updog, and Richie fella from Pine Canyon. He's got a little member max play coming up there. Tough fucking lifestyle you got up there, eh?
I'm jealous.
Holy, I'm moving to Pine Canyon. Get me a realtor up there. I'm coming.
I mean, come on. I got the perfect girl for you, buddy. What do you squared away?
Yeah, and I don't have the money's the problem. What's the cheapest lot? You got your rentals up there? Or what?
What's starter pack?
More of a rental pack.
I don't know. I can get you some listings, fellas. Let's send them your way. But I do have a nice day. I got a match play event today. I got to win my match, obviously, we won. And then tomorrow morning, we have a summer solstice tournament. 3 rounds in one day. Start at 6 a.m.
Jesus.
Summer solstice. Longest day of the year.
Longest day of the year. So we got 3 rounds. About Johnny Schlitz, my partner.
Oh, Schlitzy.
Johnny.
Schlitzy,
So
your beauty.
we'll have ourselves a day.
So when's that? Friday's the longest day of the year?
Yeah.
That's nice.
They used to,
Yeah, back in my hometown, Old Niskinaw Golf Club, they used to do like the longest day of golf, and these guys would go out there.
Longest day drinking.
Yeah, but they would get flags on top of their cart. It'd be like 1 or 2 groups, and they'd try to set like the Guinness Book of World Records for how many holes of golf they could play in one day. I think they get like 90.
I was going to say, did you just see they did it? Dan Orlovsky, I think Barkley, they just played 100 holes for ALS.
In one day?
One day, 100 holes.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
6 rounds?
I played 18 yesterday. Felt like I played 100.
It's a lot of bogeys, eh?
Fuck me. Felt like I played 100. Blow up my course. I'm ready for it. I'll start the fucking first bulldozer. Get her done.
Just come in with a shovel and a hard hat. That's it.
Fuck. I'm trending upwards. I'm gonna be a double-digit hit. It's embarrassing.
That is not perfect, yeah.
No, it's not. But it's accurate. There's no. It's not a lie. That's the thing.
Like, scores in.
I do.
She spits them out.
She spits them out, and she's about to spit out a 10. It's just like, fuck. I can't even win as a 9. I'm getting worked out. Although I did win last Wednesday, and I shot 87, and I won like 5 hundos, so I can't complain.
Oh, we played the old Poli. Richie, what kind of putter are you using right now, buddy?
I just got a Scotty Cameron.
I don't know if
I don't know which one it is. It's one of kind of like a mallet with 2 prongs at the back. I don't know.
I don't know if I should tell you about the secret that's going on right now in Upshaw's bag, but
oh boy,
yeah,
what is it?
It's heating up, bud. It's heating up.
You got a little lab putter going or something?
No, I don't know. Should I break it to the old jailbreak, bud?
It's up to you.
Oh,
Odyssey.
You got the old Angel Cabrera putter going.
Yeah, jailbreak.
Right out of the clink.
Right out of the clink to 2 back-to-backers. Yeah, no, it's good. Puts it online. It's got a good weight to it. Nice big fat.
He's in the honeymoon phase, eh? Just wait. Wait. But he's rolling everything in right now.
Okay.
Scary.
But that's the honeymoon phase, right? It's like,
I know.
not to get back into relationships here. We don't need to go down that road again. But it's like, first fucking 6 months of the relationship with a girl, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's when you love it and you fuck it.
Yeah, right? You hang out twice a week, Pound Town, and fucking go get some sushi. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, you don't feel like breaking it over your knee and just not coming over 3 days.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to Hollywood with Ups and Loops, and then, back to Hollywood Saturday. I'll see you Tuesday. How's that sound? Yeah. Movie?
When I'm hungover on the couch, I'll eat something to cuddle with.
Taco Tuesday there, sweetheart, or what? Updog's a problem on the golf course right now. Thank God he's leaving town. Gonna be good on my wallet. So, Richie, good luck at Pine Canyon, the friendly confines of Pine Canyon. Say all the boys for me. Is it a team match play or just singles?
Just the singles today. Single match play.
Just you and the course, eh? And the guy you're playing. No one to blame but yourself, bud.
Bro, that's it, eh? Yeah. So that'll be good.
Hey, boys, real quick here on the intro. Something I didn't really know. I guess some team in the 50s, the Canadians, the 54 Canadians or somebody did this, but Gretz, the 4th one they won, I heard him talking about it on TNT, and Gretz did a hell of a job. I get it. If I'm the great one, I don't want to do TNT every Wednesday. I get it. He's got better things to do, but God, he was good during the finals. Tell him the story about coming up 3-0 and telling the security guards, hey, boys, no one comes on the ice, and they're going to do the team pick, which is now one of the best traditions ever. I just think there's too many people on the ice still. Yeah. Like, I don't know, Richie, you won one. I'm sure when you win, you don't really give a fuck, but I'm watching the celebrations the other day, and God, it stung when Jacob Magna put that cup over his head. That one stung. And then just seeing how many people were out there, I was like, who are all these fucking
The
people?
White Walkers.
Who are these
Just
people?
all the White Walkers trying to get through the gates.
Family, kids, side piece. That's all you need out there. That's all you need out there.
You got to keep her in the stands, don't you?
Wave to her up there.
Hey, baby.
You stay there. You don't. Yeah. Text you after. Well, that way.
Do not come in that section.
Sprinter van outside. Jump in it.
No, I yeah. Oh, it's just just to touch on the Gretz thing. He did an insane job.
Yeah,
where he just spoke for it was 10 minutes straight, just when the guys were getting the cups and just the moments and what it feels like, and then his dive into to telling Slats too, like, hey, this is our time. Last year, these fucking guys were all over the ice. This time, it's ours, right? It was a great story, and my neighbor came over to me yesterday and was just like, he's like, you're always so chill and cool, and you're cleaning your garage, or you're hanging with your kids. He's like, but I know, after watching these hockey guys battle, like that was what, this is what you've.
He said you were chill.
Yeah,
you don't say that one.
He doesn't see me on the.
You should come over to my house. See, I'll show you chill.
No, but what he was saying was like, how hockey guys are so fired up, but then the moment they get to celebrate with each other, it's unlike any other sport. And this guy's a great guy, Craig, and he, he was able to not just remind me, because the cup was just given out not 24 hours before, but just the fact that we have such a special gift in the battle and then the celebration, and it's unlike any other, and the team photo on the ice is unlike any other, and the guys all touching the cup before the owners is like any other. It's pretty special, and to hear it from a guy that probably watches a couple hockey games a year, for him to recognize just how fucking much cooler and much more intimate that fucking celebration is compared to anything in sports is pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like my buddies that don't watch a lot of hockey, a lot of guys up here, basketball guys, and I got them to watch. We were sitting around watching the finals or the last game, and I said, see what happens in our sport. The owner doesn't touch it first, and I think that's the coolest thing, because every other sport, the owner gets it first.
Yeah.
So they never noticed that. They're like, oh my god, that is cool. That's what should happen. And now they have they're asking me questions and have a new appreciation for how cool hockey is. And I got a lot of people hooked on it. From Scottsdale and up here this summer, watching the finals and watching the playoffs. So I don't know. It's the best sport for sure, buddy.
God, I still get jealous every time they hand that fucking trophy. I mean, for a guy who won it, I guess jealous is not the word. It probably just brings back good memories for you, right? Because you just you relive it. For us guys who never won one, I still like basically cry, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
God, it would have been nice.
Yeah, and I think watching, got the guys. For me, the best moment was probably giving him a cup to my dad on the ice. He put it over his head on the ice, getting the photo with him doing that, and getting my dad a drink out of it and all that kind of stuff in the dressing room, and your friends that were there. So that was the coolest part for me, is watching everyone else, how excited they were. Obviously, I was excited, but seeing your buddies and your parents and your family all light up like that, it was pretty cool.
You were excited for the shaker your fucking bender you're about to go on. You're like, here, Dad, hold this cup. Hold this cup. I got to text a few people here.
No kidding.
Go line up high for the boys here. Richie, do you even notice how, I just, again, how many people were on the ice? When you win it, do you even care how many people were out there? I just feel like these guys have worked so hard to do this. They should only have the people they really want out there, right? We don't need any media out there. We don't need any fucking fans out there. Just their family. They're, like we said, the close people that help them get there, because they've achieved something that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, for me, you don't really notice in the moment. They kind of, you had enough time with it. I think everyone got their moment with it, skate around, do their lap. And then all the coaches and players got on. And then I think the media comes on after that. They have a certain, time frame. And then the media came on. So it didn't bug me much, but I was just so excited to get to the dressing room with the cup and have the boys in there and start drinking. Cause you're you just want it. You're so excited. You're like, I can't wait to have that cold beer, champagne. So that was probably one of my favorite times after we won. We all we had the cup in the room and it was just the boys going crazy. And then, we all maybe too much information here, but we all went, we took the cup in the shower, had beer showers with the cup in there. And it was just but it was just the boys oh, fuck. And then you're kind of holy fuck, was that a lot? It was tiring. Kind of hits you you finally did it. So that stuff like that was super cool.
Yeah. Best trophy in the world. I'm going to get to some of the stuff that happened in the Cats dressing room when we get into our next segment here. But the final end of the season, which means, sorry, DraftKings, O'Brien's going to take a little break. My account is going to take a little breather till maybe the Open Championship. But I literally have bet hockey every single night. There was a game since opening night. So that's a good 8 months.
What a stretch.
That's a stretch of betting every single night.
Some ups and some downs.
Some real downs early. Early was tough. Next year, I got to really learn my lesson. I'm just going to start with the first period overs in probably the first 20 games, or like really try to pick my spots, because the first 20 games of the NHL season, it's a crapshoot. And then I would say to the boys out there that like to get some skin in the game, the last 20 and then into playoffs is where you can put a little dent in DraftKings.
Yeah.
And I did. I made a little comeback. The Oilers fucked me. I would have had a real nice payout, but it is what it is. But I made a little comeback.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Hockey is tough unless you really have a good heartbeat on it, which you do. And you've been in the room. When guys are just, going to bend over and not, not perform to their ability down the stretch. But yeah, the beginning is when you got to just stick with the football.
Yeah. Take the overs.
Yeah. Just stick with Sunday football.
What do you guys bet? What do you call them? Teasers?
Over teasers.
Over teasers. Over teasers. Rich, remember that.
I don't even know what that means, but
it means you bump the points up and you bump the over down.
You always usually take the over. So if it's the Eagles are
fun that way.
If the Eagles are -3 and it's over 45, you basically bring it down to over 39, 6-point teaser, over 39, and then you get the Eagles at +4. So you take the favorite, take the points so they get more.
All right.
And then you
obviously got to hit both of them, right?
Favorite over teaser.
Yeah, well, you have to dial me in on that one.
Yeah. We'll circle back. We'll circle back to that. After the summer, we'll circle back. But last but not least, here in a little intro, some serious news. Our boy Larry Flowers is stuck in Israel right now, and it's scary times. What's going on over there? He went over for a wedding, and I told him, we're getting banged up. Like, what are you going over there for? Oh, it'll be fine. Well, it turns out it's not fine. He's stuck in a bunker. He's by himself. So Flowers, everyone's thinking about you, buddy. Get the fuck out of there. I couldn't imagine being stuck over there. So Flowers, just want to say we're thinking about you.
We are thinking about you. Yeah, if you just want to play-by-play, just follow him on Instagram. He's doing some daily updates.
Yeah.
The Panda Watch, Channel 6 news team.
And he's been dying to get back on the pod. I said, you didn't have to go to a war to get back on the pod, but I will have you. I will have you on. I will have you on now. Hey, now I will have you on.
He's got a good tan though. Like some of the afternoons he's at this pool. It is a beautiful place, Tel Aviv, but sometimes
it's not right now anyway.
I know. But yeah, it's some crazy shit going on over there.
Yeah. Anyways, Flowers, we're thinking about you, buddy. Try to get on a bird and get out of there. Before we go to break, let's not forget this show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We're right back, fellas. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Back-to-back champs. We're going back-to-back. The Stanley Cup, back-to-back champs. Up dogs, Florida Panthers. What a fucking well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
It's like really the only words that come to my mind when I think about it. First for me, I thought what they did with the cup, handing it out to all the guys who hadn't won it first, and then they even gave it to all the Black Aces before the boys got their hands on it. I thought that was really cool and just kind of showed. It's easier to do that, right, Rich, when you've won one the year before, but I just thought that was pretty cool. And then for me, I'll lead it off here. Just the boys playing with injuries, right? Barkey's hand. Chucky had an abductor. I don't even know what the fucking abductor is. What is that?
It's the part of the groin that attaches to your pelvic bone. So it's right up there. Your adductor. Like you have that.
Can't feel good.
I've done it. It's brutal. So basically that thing needs time to heal back to the bone, and he said he pulled it right off. So he was playing with basically no attached groin. But
so does he need surgery now, you think?
He's most likely going to have surgery, yeah. Especially if he's got hernias and shit.
You got a hernia.
He ain't having surgery today, I'll tell you. He just texted me, such a beauty. He said, "Oops, lost my shades at the elbow room. Can you send me some Kits eyewear for the boys during the parade?" I was like, "Fucking right, Chucky. I'm going in to record with the boys. After that, I'll overnight you as many pairs as I got."
Yeah, so yeah.
Lost his shades at the elbow room. I go, "That'll happen, fella. That'll happen."
Yeah, the adductor.
He's probably the only guy that can get away with having playing with that. He doesn't really have to skate much. You just get your blocks in front of that net.
It's funny you say that because against Tampa, I thought he was moving okay. And then against Toronto, even Loops was like, Chucky's fucking can't even skate. And then
he was dying.
Yeah, and then I thought against Carolina in the finals, he looked the best he did.
For sure.
So
how much Toradol were they giving him?
Right?
Well, it just
fucking shit ton, I bet.
It just goes to show why he could not skate or move at that Four Nations in the final. Like he could not even put weight on his right leg, or we all thought it might have been his back, but no, it was It was ab and it was groin, and that thing, I mean, you're helpless. I missed 5 months one year with it, trying to rehab it, boys. And until I finally got surgery, and then I was good. But the fact he did not get surgery and he managed to play 21, 22 playoff games is wild.
Crazy.
And I kind of like how he tried to play right from the start. And I don't want to pile on Ekholm here because I don't know how bad he is. He had a groin, right? But they kept waiting for Ekholm, and I know they were winning. But I wanted him to get in there and get some action going. And I didn't think Ekholm was very good the whole playoffs. I just think it was because he started so late. Like, to jump in the conference finals when you're hurt, it's like, fuck. It's hard to do. But I will say this, and Rhino, real quick, Richie's playing with an MCL strain. We all talk about playing with injuries. Like, this is another reason why they're back-to-back champs. All their star players were playing banged up this time of year. I'm sure Edmonton was banged up too, and all other teams, but this is how you win championships, in my opinion, Rich.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they played bad either. Chucky showed up and played unbelievable when he had to. Obviously, Reinhart scores 4 goals in the game clinching. Like, this is not just them showing up and playing average hockey. They played pretty remarkable hockey with those kind of injuries. So
crazy.
You got the Barkov hand.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing with Rhino, right? He missed, what did he miss? Game 4 against the Canes and came right back for game 5.
Yeah.
And I thought in game 5 against Carolina, he didn't look great. And even at the start of the Edmonton series in Edmonton, I was like, Rhino's not skating very well. And then you could see he started feeling better, and the rest is history. 7 goals in the finals. And
they didn't play a bad game all playoffs. Like, you look at Edmonton, like, they slid. They got bad. They had some fucking mishaps. The Florida Panthers played unbelievable hockey, backing each other up, being a, consistent forechecking force, great goaltending, big defense. The whole team they didn't have a bad game. It's crazy to look at a team that has gone to the finals 3 years in a row, and they still have energy in the tank. It's like vitamin D down in Florida's working. It's the magic potion, and whatever these guys got, doesn't look like they're slowing down.
No. I mean, Kyle, KC put in the little Puckpedia there. If they can somehow get Bennett, and I'm going to get to Bill Zito later, but if they could somehow get Bennett and Eki signed, I mean, they got, look at that, Barkov, Tkachuk, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Lundell, Rodriguez.
They have a chance to be a real dynasty.
A real dynasty.
Yeah.
I'd bring back that whole fourth line, too.
Well, then you got Bob.
Give them all $1 million.
Bob's not left.
Bob? Scroll down there. Bob's got a few more. One more year? One more.
Yeah, but he might stay. He might not be looking for a home run. He's
already hit a couple.
He's 36, right?
Yeah. But he's in unbelievable shape.
Good.
And just to finish off with our back-to-back Stanley Cup champs here, the third line, obviously, Listerine, Lundell, Marchand was unbelievable. And like I said this earlier, I look back to the Ducks team that won it, that I was part of for a little bit. They had Robbie Niedermeyer, Paulson, and Mole, and that was so important to them. And this was arguably their best line. And then you guys touched on it, Bobrovsky in between the pipes. I mean, did he have one bad game? Like, I put out a video before Game 6, and I was begging the hockey gods for Bob to have one off night, and he didn't have one.
I don't even know if he let in one bad goal in the playoffs.
Right?
I can't remember one bad goal where you're like, oh, he should have had that.
I know. Crazy.
Squeaker, like, you know what I mean?
He's out there just before the game doing those little dances, like.
Yeah, it's
making love to the ice.
How easy is it to play when you're a defenseman, like behind you is a guy that's fucking going to compete harder than anyone else on the ice and not make mistakes. It's got to be a great feeling. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a goalie that was that good.
I mean, listen, I was lucky to have Luongo and Pekka Rinne, and as a defenseman, knowing that, if it is maybe a 50-50 puck, I'm going to go slide down this time. And if it does get chipped by you, or if you try to be aggressive on the wall, and you have those guys back there, much like Quickie in LA, right?
Yeah.
It's a different feeling, especially for a D-man ups. You can count on your guy back there. And this guy's at a different level than even those two guys, Bobby Lou and.
Especially like starting a game off, knowing that they're not going to be just a bad goal and you're going to be down one. That's the worst feeling in a big game. You're like, oh shit, we're so ready. We just flew fucking 9,000 miles across the country for a big game, and we're down one. Tough goal. Yeah. But I will say, Reinhardt's first goal in that Game 6. Wow, like out muscling guys, getting to the net, making a great play.
It was a terrible play by Ekholm. Horrendous. All you have to do there, first of all, Ekholm, move it quickly. Right, and then you give a guy a grenade, that's fine. But once it's turned over and now Reinhardt is on his backhand, you just hold.
Keep him there.
Just hold.
Keep him there.
Just keep him there.
Yeah.
And you don't go to him and then fucking. I mean, their D
Yeah, it was such.
They're decost in that series, in my opinion. They didn't play very good last 2 or 3 games.
We're gonna dive into the Oilers in tea times. Last but not least for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, Bobby Lou, 2-0, banging the drum, fucking throwing F-bombs, just going crazy, and the boys going Bobby Lou.
Is he going to be a GM one day?
It feels like it.
Yeah, it does.
Feels like it. Wonder if he'll hire us. Should we put it in his ear a bit?
He won't.
Special advisor to the GM, Shane O'Brien.
You're not going to like those hours.
He won't lay off his Twitter though or his ex. When
I don't know. He's great on X.
He's great.
He's great on X. So, congrats to those boys, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champ, and I'm sure they're crushing tons of Labatt Blue lights, which brings us to Get This Guy, Labatt Blue. Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your seat, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com. I'm going to start dishing, boys. I got 4 ice-cold Labatts right out of our beer fridge here. Lusterinen, is that how you say his name? Is that right? Lusterinen? 19 even-strength points. There's only 2 guys in the NHL that have more than that, McDavid and Draisaitl in the playoffs. That stat alone, to me, obviously there's great power play guys, but I've always said to you boys, 5-on-5 even-strength points to me as forwards really dictates how much of an impact you're having on a game or a series. So get yourself a Labatt Blue. Our boy Rhino, Sam Reinhart. That was a great text by Andy McGough goes, I can't believe Cantaloupe didn't let him into the party. Coachella. Hey, you know Jim Cantaloupe, Richie?
No, who's that?
Oh, this is years ago, and Reinhart comes with Eichel, and Cantaloupe snaps and kicks Reinhart. Kicks us all off the bus. He kicked me off the bus, too. Me, Reinhart, and Eichel kicked off, and Mackel's like, I can't believe Jimbo didn't let Reinhart in that party. But listen, 4 goals in Game 7, 7 in the finals. The only other guy to do that is the great one. So, Rhino, I know you like a good blue light. Get it in you, buddy. Sam Bennett, Conn Smythe winner, 15 goals. Another guy that deserves a ton of Labatt Blues right now. Get it in you. And last but not least, our boy, Matty Tkachuk. Chucky, Stanley Cup game-winning clinching goal to go back-to-back champs. Chucky, you fucking beauty. Get yourself a Labatt Blue.
I just got to give this one. I don't think he got enough credit. You know, all these guys are talked about, Marchand and Bennett and Reinhart, but Bobrovsky, it was unbelievable. We just kind of touched on it in our first segment there, but he had 3 shutouts. Well, obviously won 16 games, 220 goals against, 914 save percentage. I don't think I can remember a bad goal he let in. So, Bobby, you deserve yourself a nice blue light.
He was great in his interviews. He goes, I like to thank God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Nice. He's
fucking thank God.
He's a faithful dude, and he had someone looking over him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Boys, I'm going to go back end. All these guys deserve beers. Mikkola, Listerinen, Seth Jones, Ekblad. These guys played hard minutes, shut down some of the best teams on this stretch, some of the best offensive players in the world. Anytime you hold a guy like Connor McDavid to 1 goal in 13 finals, Stanley Cup final games is pretty impressive. But these guys, what they were able to do as a defenseman core, as a D core, is pretty special, man. Without these guys playing big minutes, it shows the league, it's a copycat league, and these guys are obviously what everyone needs to build their teams by. You need size, you need veterans, you need guys that can play hard, play hurt. Mikkola was hurt, no question. Ekblad was not feeling his best, but these guys just went out day in, day out, and they need to ice it down with a couple of Labatt Blue lights, I think.
Yeah, they need a fucking case. Give those boys a case. The whole group of 6. Kulikov played unbelievable for them. You see the stat dating back to last playoffs? Like Pasternak 1 goal, Matthews 1 goal.
Yeah, McDavid
1 goal. It's like these and that goes to Barkey too. But like they shut down the best players on the planet.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. So get yourself Labatt Blue. Always drink responsibly. But God, it's summertime. Longest day of the year tomorrow. Good day to drink as many blue lights. See how many blue lights you can drink tomorrow, boys, and let the boys know. Up dog, it's the Sizzle Missin Curfew Dog of the Week. Oh.
Fellas, Sizzle brands. They have Quench and Spoken brands brought to market. Sizzle, fellas, is elevating the game in health and wellness with a mission to remove sugar-based, unhealthy products from your pantry and replace them, fellas, with better products for you and your kids. They're creating brands that kids love and parents are excited to have. Their stock ticker, boys, is CZZL in the Toronto Stock Exchange, and they got a new flavor called the Selly. It just came out. It's actually... check it out online, boys. They've got a new Quench flavor called Selly. But boys, I'm going to go to Alexander Barkov. I think deserves my quench dog of the week, boys, for this finals. Not only for showing up to his neighbor's house at 5 in the morning after the cup. He's got a nice little spot in Las Olas right on the water, and he's going around all his neighbors going, you asked for this, you asked for this. Here she is, Lord Stanley.
5 a.m., eh?
But boys, shutting down, as we just talked about, shutting down the best players in the world game after game, doing it with grace and doing it with one hand. I mean, the pictures went around and showed just the cut he had right down the middle of his right paw. They tried to stitch it every game, but those popped out. Then they tried glue, and by the end, it looks like she was stapled together. This thing was disgusting. It shows how tough hockey players are, Obes, and it just shows how much of a leader, and this guy is a warrior. So Alexander Barkov's my quench and Sizzle Brand's dog of the week.
Well deserved. They asked Paul Maurice earlier in the, I don't know if it was the final, the conference final, that, Barkov's, I think it was the final, his production's down, he doesn't have many points or whatever, and Maurice did a great job of, protecting him, but that was clearly one of the reasons, right? His hand was fucking mangled. But he still, as the series went on, Barky got better, and that's the thing about, we're going to get into tea times next, but my Sizzle Missin Curfew dog of the week, is Bill Zito. I saw Bill on Pat McAfee yesterday morning. It was an unbelievable interview. McAfee asked him, you got 3, free agents pending, He's like, listen, it's not a tough stall for me. You want to come down here and play with Barkov and Tkachuk? You want to take a golf cart to practice? You want to buy a mansion on Las Olas? You want to wear flip-flops? You want to pay no state tax? He's like, I'm pretty sure I could convince a couple guys to come down here and take that. I was like, that a boy, Bill. But seriously, his trade deadline, Seth Jones, up, dog. It feels like for the last 2 years I've been sitting on this podcast praying for someone to trade for Seth Jones. And I wanted the Leafs to do it. They never did it. It was easier for Bill. He knew Seth from Columbus. He knew his character. Obviously, it helped with fitting in the cap there in Florida too. But Seth Jones, obviously a great pickup. Brad Marchand, we all know how that worked out. So Bill Zito, you're my Missin Curfew dog of the week. That guy's a GM. And another thing he said on McAfee, Richie, they talk about building the culture. I was telling you this yesterday when we were teaming it up. And he's like, you know what? We just tried to get rid of some stupid things. For example, he said, and I used to fucking talk to the leadership group and coaches, and everyone just thought, Obes doesn't want to wear a fucking suit. He's like, you wear a suit, you go to the FBO, nobody sees you. Get on the plane, you take your suit off. You get plane lands, you put your suit on, you go to FBO, you go to the hotel, he goes, nobody sees you. So we eliminated that. He's like, we let the guys wear team track suits on the plane now. And then he said a couple other things. I'm just like, that little stuff, people think, what's that big deal? That little stuff just makes your day-to-day lifestyle a little more relaxing. Right? Like, just fucking throw your team tracksuit on. Let's go on the bird. Like, stuff like that to me adds up. And obviously the sunshine helps more. But Rich, I think little stuff like that's big. And Bill's been doing it.
Do you know what the worst thing was too? When you had to wear a suit to the plane. As soon as you get on, you just took it off anyway.
Yeah.
And changed in your comfies. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
What are we doing here, boys?
No, I hated that. And in some guys, like some coaches, you got to wear ties. I'm like, I hate wearing a tie.
Oh yeah, we have to wear.
I'll put one on. If you don't, no.
Yeah, we have to wear suits on off days.
We had to go. Yeah, exactly. Suits dinner on off days. Like, this is fucking insanity.
Go to a movie, try to get some M&M peanut M&Ms. I got a suit on. Hey, you got to take the Ferragamos off.
Popcorn grease all the way. See,
oh shit, there's a fucking little butter on there.
extra butter.
I get that dry cleaned. But I don't know if you want to touch on Bill. We bumped into him a couple years ago in the finals when we were up there bumping elbows with Gretz and the boys. But
I think he's great, Obes. Yeah, I think he's one of the best. And the look on his face holding the Stanley Cup, I noticed it last year, and I can't forget it this year. The look of satisfaction and of, fight and, his thankfulness to his group. He's a guy guys want to play for, not just for letting him wear the trackies and the sneaks, but for what he's able to put together. This whole draw, this isn't artificial intelligence putting this team together. This is a guy who knows culture and who understands Paul Maurice and who he is. And he's helped build this team into a fucking juggernaut. And now it doesn't look like they're stopping. And these guys are probably fired up for next year.
I mean, if he could keep Bennett and Ekblad, I think Marchand's going to go get one last payday. He deserves it, right? The reports are like from Dave Pignotta and the boys are 8 for 4. I mean, at 37, you can't turn that down. I don't care what state tax or wherever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice little retirement package there.
Yeah, fuck. It's also nice to win, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's nice to win, but
a lot of these teams can't afford guys that are.
It's nice to be rich too. It's nice to be rich when you're retired.
He's already rich. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but that'll make him rich.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Because Richie, he's been underpaid. Opposite, he's been underpaid his whole career almost. Wouldn't you say Brad Marchand making $6 million or whatever he's making?
Yeah.
So he kind of deserves that last.
Yeah.
But do you take it?
You get underpaid middle of your career. You try to get. I guess I don't know. No, it's the last little bit. You want to make your money, but you don't want to be stuck, like Richie just said, in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Last couple of years,
Like he just takes give him 4 years at $6 million here, and that's 8 somewhere else anyway. There's your cap stuff level. So
Yeah, no, and you're right. And I think when you talk about winning, I think Marshy took less in Boston to try to win another one there. Like I think he did. I don't know. A team that jumps out to me that for Brad Marchand, like what about the Columbus Blue Jackets? Like imagine throwing him in that locker room. They can afford
to live in Columbus, so it's fucking.
People with kids love it. You probably love Columbus now. There's lots of shit.
I would
kids
say
and stuff. You get a big house for cheap.
What if Florida just
Rain,
made
your
the next-
When you get in a fight with your wife, you go to the left wing. She goes to the right wing, and you see her, the next day.
How about this idea? What if Florida keeps him, but gives him like an extra year that no one would give him, and just brings his AV down a bit?
yeah, or defer his salary like they did with what's his face in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Oh, for Vertrano.
Yeah, why don't they do some kind of deferment?
I bet you they find a way to keep these fuckers. Yeah, I bet you.
I think so too.
At the end of the day, if Bennett, Eki, and Marchand stay, heads up.
Even if they keep Ben and Ekblad, look out. I mean, Marchand was huge too. I don't want to take anything away from Marchand, but he's going to be 38 years old. How many more runs does he have like that?
Still a little piss in the tank. It looked like there, but
Oh, he did. He was almost like he could have played another round, eh?
who knows?
Hey, Champions League. You guys want to play? We'll go play the winners of the KHL. Let's go.
How quick? Hey,
What we got next? No, it's over, Marshy. Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask you this. So, how quick would it be that you'd have a stogie in your mouth if you won the cup on the ice? Like,
There would have been about that. Listen, there would have been a lot of things that I took quickly, fella. A lot of fucking things that I took quickly.
I would want that stogie in my mouth or that photo on the ice. Like, because I saw Mike Vernon, I don't know why, but I saw Mike Vernon in a picture with the fucking Detroit Red Wings, and he's got a stogie lit up on the ice with the picture like that. I think that would just, you'd have to.
I mean, hey, can you pull it? That's an epic pick right there. That's Richie. We got the one of Marshy with a coffee, some kind of spiked iced tea, and a beer under his arm. Break out the Tums. Can you get the pitch?
His eyes are almost closed.
Yeah. Can you get the picture of Chucky KC in the dressing room? I mean, it's epic. He's standing up. He's got a stogie. I think he's got his hands up like that. Some of the pictures that have come out of and one thing I did notice about this is they won it last year, right? So they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I think that might have been last year, but I don't know that one. Maybe not. It seemed like this year they obviously after just doing it, they fucking that one. That's the one I was talking about. Stogie in his mouth, mug over his head.
Loving life.
Yeah.
And shout out just while we're talking, because we're gonna move on, but Vinny Viola, man, what a run he's had since he bought our team. Richie, I was there, and actually Obes came in the year he bought our team too.
He's a blue light.
And this guy, I mean, came from West Point. He's badass, but he's built a fucking winning product and atmosphere. I'm just because I'm looking at some of the pictures in the dressing room and just the way things have changed there since I left. Like I'm sure the facility,
the practice rink
is
looks
state of the art. So that's all the owner. But the pictures of the way the room looks now, that looks fucking unbelievable.
That's their practice room.
That's the practice room?
Yeah.
That looks sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but like their biggest thing is their culture. Like,
It's insane.
they expect to win. Like these guys,
That's the game.
there. They just keep going.
Hasn't changed much. They just put that Panther logo above the fuck
top of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks sick.
That's not a bad room. Big.
It's a good room.
Roomy.
Big, yeah.
There's a lot of room in there.
Yeah.
Congrats to those boys. Bill Zito, fucking dog, buddy. Good luck. Get the boys signed up. Moving on here, boys. It's the last one of the year. It's Tea Times, presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. 4 right. That's what I was yelling yesterday. 4. Get down. Someone see that. The Oilers, back-to-back, losing the final, boys. I can't imagine, what they're feeling. I feel for them. Updog, we'll start with you. What did you think about, the way it ended or just your thoughts on your Oil? Because I know you were emotionally committed, fella.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I laughed when you sent the video around yesterday of your jerseys that you bought up in Edmonton. You did your part.
I tried.
What did you have? 2 Corey Perrys,
2 pairs of Gretz
jersey and a Gretz. Like, I mean, you did your part. You definitely did. And I think we all did our part. I think Canada, in general, was all on board for the Edmonton Oilers to try to win a Stanley Cup this year. It's been 32 years and counting since the Canadian team has won. And these guys, I mean, to come so close back-to-back years, Obes, you bet these guys the day after they lost last year in Game 7, which, it shows just how much you know about the game and know about these guys and the fight they have in them. But I think the Hyman injury hurt, boys. They ran out of gas. The goaltending issues in the middle of your Stanley Cup finals is not perfect. And then you're just playing a team that was confident, cocky, healthy, just all fucking feeling it. Like they weren't stopping. So for the Oilers, like, how do you look in the mirror and reflect and what do you need to do? You gotta just find a way to fucking have better guys show up at bigger moments, and it all has to work out. You guys know it's luck just as much as it's skill in the playoffs. But I think they ran out of gas, and it just was it was a swing and a miss type of year again.
Richie, your thoughts on the Oil?
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, I kind of thought it was a tale of two teams in the playoffs. The first couple rounds, their depth looked really strong. Goaltending looked pretty good. Well, they got a little hairy there for a second, but it's just in the finals, I thought they looked super slow. Besides McDavid and a couple guys, I thought they looked slow. Their depth kind of fell off. Goaltending obviously became a huge issue. And it just shows you can't have just the two top guys carrying your team the whole year. It's just, you can't do it. These teams Florida's just too deep, and these teams that win are just, all four lines can play. Goaltending is always, obviously he's really strong, and the Oilers got to do something with goaltending. They need a couple defensemen, and I think they need to get faster in the bottom lines. So, I love Perry, but she should not be on that top line. I know got hurt and you kind of had to do what you had to do, but they just look slow. So I don't know. It's tough. I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be they got to go over a lot of stuff and figure out what they want to do. So obviously Edmonton's always a little tougher sell in some markets, but, and then obviously what's going to happen with McDavid. So
yeah,
back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I would say this, when we were heading up there for game 1 and 2, I said, they got to get both at home. And I really believe that. Like, I think if they win that game 2 at home, it's a completely different series with the mentality of Edmonton flying to Florida. All right, we did what we're supposed to do. I just thought when Marchand scored that OT winner, the next day those boys jumped back on the bird to Florida, and they're like, perfect. We got these fuckers right where we want them. And they should have been up 3-1. And then to me, the comeback in game 4, I was trying to put myself in that dressing room or how excited you would be to that. We just came back. Our season was almost over, and we just came back. We got home ice back. And after that, the Edmonton Oilers were outplayed tremendously in game 5 and 6. I just couldn't believe that. Like, I couldn't believe after coming back in game 4 and doing the impossible that no one has done since whatever fucking year it was. And then to come out in game 5, I do think the one-day travel hurt them as flat as they did. And then in game 6, they looked like they kind of knew. They were tired and they knew, and they gave up the first one. And it's like, but to me, that two things in the series really stood out to me. And then, like Richie said, the stuff we talked about all year, right? And this is where Stan Bowman's got to look himself in the mirror, right? Talked about goaltending all year there. Our goalies are good enough. Well, they fucking weren't. Their back end. Our back end's good enough. It wasn't, right? So that's Stan Bowman's job and the rest of the management to fucking plug these holes, because to me, and Richie, you're right about the speed, but I still like their forward group, although fucking Adam Henrik, if you could throw him on the milk carton. Actually, let's put him on the milk carton. Series started, it's over. Adam, you missed it.
Yeah.
I just think they got to plug these holes, and we'll see what happens. But to me, Hyman was a big-time miss. And then a guy in net, like John Gibson, I know his name's thrown around always, but like, if I'm Stan Bowman, I'm doing everything I can to get a guy like that to come in there. You got to get your, and even Gretz said that in TNT, you got to get your goaltending, secure. So
yeah, like if they don't do that, McDavid, why would he stay if they don't do that? Why the fuck would he stay?
Yeah, you teed me up for this, and everyone's talking about it, right? That McDavid's gone, this and that, and I don't know if he'll be gone or not. But my question to you boys is: Does McDavid owe it to the NHL? I don't know if "owe" it's the right word, but you want to leave the game in a better position than when you came, right? As a superstar, and he's already done that. But like, does he owe it to like look at what's the best situation, not only for him, but how to grow this game? Like, to me, it's like, imagine he's on the New York Rangers, and you got Connor McDavid playing in New York. Like how that could just help grow the game even more. Does that play a factor at all? Should it play a factor, or should you just worry about him because he's the best player to maybe ever play this game, and he's in a position to where he can set himself up for the next 7 years and maybe help this game grow in the States more than it ever has.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. What he's done in Edmonton is, other than not winning, it's been more than remarkable. It's Hall of Fame-esque. He's been the best player to lace him up for, but maybe ever, but without winning though. The way I look at it is they've got Leon. If they can fix the goaltending, if they can do something this year, like does he stay for a 2-year, does he give him 2 more years? Because once he leaves, he's never coming back. So does he give him maybe 2 more years, Obes? And then all of a sudden, all the cap really expands and he's going to be able to hit a fucking home run. Like, does he, I don't think you're going to get him to sign a long-term deal with Edmonton, but does he stay maybe 1 or 2 more years to give him a chance?
Is there a world, and this is probably stupid to say because McDavid is the best player in the world, but is there in a world where if McDavid leaves, now Draisaitl's the guy, now you have $19 million that McDavid was going to eat up to get a number 1 defenseman, to get a number 1 goalie, and now you can build your team around Leon Draisaitl, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
but do you think someone's going to want to sign there as a number 1 defenseman without McDavid there? I don't think so.
Leon's a pretty good player too.
I'm not saying he isn't. He's very good, but you can't win with one guy. I mean, I know, but
so then you would go
number 1 defenseman aren't signing that.
So now your centers are Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins.
Well, they got to trade. You can't let him leave. So if it's July 1st, or maybe he signs another 2 years, you have to towards that next year. You have to trade Connor McDavid. You can never let him walk, or you're fucking done. It'll set your country back, or it'll set your team back 10 years if you let him leave without any. What would guys trade for him? They'd trade all their youth. They would give you number 1.
So now you can. So okay. So now if you're talking about trading, so now you're talking about trading McDavid, all right? So now we're gonna get a legit number 2 center back.
Yeah,
legit. So then you're gonna go Draisaitl, the number 2 center you pick up, and then Nugent Hopkins and Janmark as your centers down the pipe. Draisaitl, the guy you get trade for. Nugent Hopkins or whatever, like they're gonna if they're gonna trade for him. I mean, listen, it's crazy to even talk about, and I'm sure Stan Bowman is like losing sleep over this, but they haven't got over the hump, and it's like fuck.
Well, the hump,
he's in his prime.
Got over the hump, but they haven't got to the promised land. They've got over a hump. We're getting the finals, and they made it to the conference finals 2 years prior to that. Like there's humps that you've got over, but you haven't got to where he needs to get to. Yeah. You need to win with this guy, or it's not just a hump, right?
Yeah, I think without McDavid, this team it barely scrapes in the playoffs. I got to be honest. That's what I think of this team. I don't think this team's that great.
Yeah, no, you're probably not wrong there. But once again, you got to think of the pieces they'll get for Connor.
Yeah, but the team that trades for Connor McDavid ain't giving up a number 2 center. They're giving up 5 first-rounders. They're giving up young players. They're not giving up. They're trying to win a cup and not giving up real roster players. They're giving up their 5 picks, 6 picks, 8 picks, whatever it is.
Yeah. What about Zibanejad, Lafreniere?
Yeah, they'll get but
first rounder. Go the back end. Go slide down the back end.
But you're taking $8.5 million for Zibanejad. I don't know if that's like your answer.
No, it's not. It's not the answer.
I like what we're thinking here, though, but
maybe you get Shesterkin.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Shesterkin. He's not going out. He's not moving.
No, wait. Shesterkin would never want to go to fucking,
No, he's got no move. He ain't going anywhere. That's tough. I mean, I'm sure he stays. Right? I think he loves it, right?
His girl got to do something significant.
His girl just opened a bar. I just think if I'm him, like, fuck, I don't know. I'd be leaving town, but that probably doesn't surprise anyone.
St. Louis Blues.
I want to just say to Oil Country boys, hey, keep your head up there. You guys are great to Missin Curfew. It was an absolute pleasure going up there and fucking getting pinned with you guys. And I hope McDavid stays. I hope they get over the hump next year. Can they go back to the finals again? Can you go to the final again next year?
I think so. I actually forgot to cancel my flights for tomorrow. I was still ready to go up for Game 7. Maybe I still go up and just hey boys, you want to have a match?
You won't have a hard time getting a room. You'll be able to stay at the JW this time, bud.
Yeah, totally.
I can get the penthouse suite at the JW.
Just if we can elaborate on more of this, but Corey Perry boys, like pretty successful little run again. It was 6 years ago today, Obes, that he got bought out from the Ducks. 6 years ago today, the Ducks
Good call, Bob.
He's been to 5 finals.
Yeah, good boy, Bob.
I thought he did more than anyone could ever ask.
I would love Corey Perry to sign a 1-year deal and finish his career as a Duck. It's not going to happen, but I would love that. Ducks hockey, Perry's one last year, Ducks. But he won't.
Maybe.
Back to Tampa with Coop, maybe?
Clydeville might bring it.
If I'm Corey Perry, I'm calling Bill Cito and be like, all right, joke's over. I want 1 year, $1 million. Slide over. Slide over.
Seriously, though, he's the guy that would come in and play for nothing, basically, right?
I mean, if you could slide Corey Perry on their fourth line, let's say, I don't know, one of their fourth line guys, Nosek or something, gets a good offer from somewhere else, right? Overpaid, and you need to fill in that fourth line. Imagine Perry's just, if you can't beat him, join him. That's like Hosta did. Remember, Hosta was chasing the cup for 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, he's been doing it. So is Paris now. He's done this. We did it with Dallas, Montreal, Tampa, right? They all went to the final. They all had runs.
Yeah. So if you're Stan Bowman and you got to start dealing with this McDavid stuff right now, right? Like, because what you're saying is you can't, can you start it's just like, wow, this is crazy.
You have to start it now. If you sit down with him and his representation, and the thing is it Davidson or who's their president? He used to be Connor's agent back in the day. So anyway, when you sit down with Connor right now and Connor looks at you and goes, it's over. You go, fuck.
You go, why? Why, Connor? Connor, why?
Yeah, then you got to move him.
If he doesn't sign this summer, then it's over. He's not going into a season with a 1-year contract.
No.
So we're going to sign this summer. It's gone. He's over. He's done. I think he's going to wait till free agency and see, and then he's going to make a decision.
Yeah, and you can't judge it after you lost back-to-back in the final. But his press conference was where he's like, we did the same fucking thing over and over again, banged our head against the wall. He seemed more pissed about it than Leon. Leon was like, we didn't win. I don't know. I don't want to judge too much into a post-game press conference after losing in the final again, but he seemed, to me, body language, that he was like, fuck this. But I don't know. I mean, Florida's good. Like he said in his interview, Florida's good. I think they beat anyone but Florida.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I took Carolina in the conference finals. I'm like, if Carolina can somehow beat Florida here, Edmonton will win the cup. And Florida, Lube said it best, they're the kryptonite. Florida hangs on the puck. They drag it. They cycle it. They slow them down. Everything that the Oilers want to do, Florida doesn't allow them to do it. But I think if it would have been an Edmonton-Toronto final, Edmonton beats them. Anyone but Florida, I think Edmonton beats. So if you look at it that way, it's like, eventually you got to hope the boys in Florida get tired, eh, Rich?
5 straight finals.
Shit.
4 pairs.
8 finals.
Fuck. It's tough.
The hockey gods aren't right. I thought the hockey gods were going to fucking, Barry Trotz talks about the hockey gods. Trotsy, where were they on this one?
That'll never, ever happen again in the history of our game, right there. You put my word on it. No one will ever go to 5 straight finals and lose. Ever.
It's like play a blackjack. Eventually, it's like play a blackjack. You eventually got to win a hand, right?
It'll never happen.
Wow, look at that stat. Austin Matthews in the playoffs last 5 years has 14 goals. Bennett had 14 goals in 20 games. That sums up right there. I don't know. Oil fans, I hope you get to keep McDavid. I hope you guys get your cup. Yeah. But like Uppy and Richie make great points here. Something Stan Bowman's got to do now. So, boys, enjoy your tea times. Get out there and play Mayfield. It's a nice little track in Edmonton there. Catch a buzz. Hell of a season. Last but not least, boys, it's the Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. This segment is brought to you by Kits Eye Care. You've seen the crew rocking those slick frames. Now it's your turn to level up and look good. Kits is hooking up Missin Curfew listeners with an unreal deal. Your first pair of prescription glasses, absolutely free, fellas. Just hit up kits.com, use code curfew at checkout, or if you're going to Progressive Lenses, take $38 off a pair instead. Clean look, clean vision. Don't sleep on this, boys. Kits has you covered. Going back to Game 6, Listerine again here. Don't want to pick on McDavid, but this is how you over back check and just stop, Connor. But little pull and drag here. Finds Chucky. Posting in. That is our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. A great job by Listerine. Fucking Wallman can close there a bit too. Like, go to him. What are you fucking waiting for? But Connor's got to hold his ice. And then that's a perfect shot. Skinner mixing a fucking save. But I think Wallman could do a better job going out there. And then as you guys know, as forwards, ups, Connor's just got to stop. Like, just stop there.
Well, if you watch Leon plays this well. He takes away his guy. And then Connor, you just got to come in and face you got to turn around, Get your head on a swivel. I'm not trying to tell the best player how to fucking
No.
play hockey, but just turn around, get your head on a swivel. You know that the guy coming in late's the only guy that can hurt you, and that's the guy that eventually scores the goal. So unfortunate, and it was at fucking a minute left in the first. You could have went in just down 1. Instead, you're down 2, and you know you can already see the fucking your
Season's over.
season's over. You can already see the face, see them in the cup by the other team already.
And I used to tell forwards, I used to yell at this too. I said, don't over back check. Eh? Fuck, quit over back checking, boys. Just like come back to the house and stop. But Wallman there, it's 4-on-3. As a defenseman, I got to push out there and make it harder on Listerine, and that might have helped McDavid just hold the middle of the ice a little bit more. I think when Listerine started dusting off, Connor went, uh-oh. But you're absolutely right, Updog. You can't over back check. What a dish. He had his Kit's eyewear on.
Does that hit Bouchard in the pants?
I don't know.
It looks like it does. Yeah, I think it does. It changes like the way it fucking.
Yeah. I mean, you can't let that guy stand right on top of the fucking blue paint like that. But anyways, boys, it was a great year of hockey. Once again, congrats to Chucky and the boys. Enjoy the year-end bender, boys. Coming up next, gold medal goal for Team USA. The big boy, Tage Thompson, coming at you next year on Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, Richie fella, fresh off the gold medal winner. God, I wish I could shoot the puck like this guy.
Yeah.
I still might be fucking, probably still wouldn't be playing, but
He wishes he had a backhand sauce like you do.
yeah, right. That'll get you out of the league. But Buffalo Sabres center Tage Thompson. Tomer, congratulations on the gold medal, buddy, and all the success you had in the NHL. I've heard a lot from the Updog and Richie. It's nice to meet you, and thanks for joining Missin Curfew.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I always want to start with you right there in the World Championships. Updog was following the tournament. He was obviously cheering for the boys back home, but didn't work out. But you know, how was it? How was Stockholm or Denmark? Was it lots of team dinners? How was it for USA Hockey over there? And how much free time do you get when you're over there representing your country?
Yeah, it was great. A lot of free time. That was my third one. So like the first one I ever did was also in Herning, Denmark. So went back to the same spot this time for like the prelims and stuff. Not the biggest city, didn't really have a ton, which kind of makes it fun for a decent amount of time, but gets old a little bit quick. But a lot of team dinners, just getting to meet new guys that you play against throughout the league. So good experience. Always love doing those.
Yeah, a couple good cities you were in. Any highlights of, Denmark or Sweden or both? Did you have a favorite place that you guys were bunkered in for a while?
Yeah, Sweden was probably my favorite. Could be my favorite city actually in all of Europe that I've ever been to. It was awesome. Just clean city, a lot of fun, good restaurants, good going out spots, and it was a good time there. I wish we were in Sweden the whole time, to be honest with you, but probably being in Herning helped us kind of dial it a little bit.
Yeah, that wall can be a dangerous nightclub in Scotland.
Yeah, the wall. Yeah, that's where we went right after we won. So if we were doing that every night, we probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. Richie, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, buddy. For me personally, I thought you got a little bit of a snub on the Four Nations roster. How did it feel? I know you had a great tournament going over there. Was that did it feel like a bigger tournament to you with the Olympics coming up this year?
Yeah, I think that was like one of the bigger reasons that I went. I was going to go last summer too, just like kind of get my name out there for the Four Nations and make a good showing for myself, but hurt myself the last game of the season. So figured this time around was a no-brainer and just probably help, especially not making the Four Nations team, had a little bit of a, something to prove in. Figured it would help my shot at making the Olympic team too.
Yeah, there's no question that sort of tournament and a chance to go play with all your buddies that you've been with can only help your cause. I was over there once in Switzerland, and for people listening in, you get over there, you're there kind of acclimating for 4 or 5 days with these guys, practicing a little bit, having fun, and then once tournament starts, did you feel like you were connected right off the bat? Was this a group of guys this year that, young and old, all your buddies, but did it feel like something special over there? Did you know you guys were going to go in and kick some ass?
Yeah, from day one, it just felt different too. Like, honestly, like right when we got to the airport, like everyone flies in separately, and then you meet at the airport and bus back. It just felt like different right from that point. Like I've been to a couple of those, but I think it was just the mixture of like the young guys that were just hungry to make a name for themselves in the National Hockey League, like, and then the older guys that wanted to like win Like I've been playing in Buffalo, haven't won anything. I want to play something meaningful to win something. So I think that mixture of just like the young guys playing, trying to make a name for themselves, and the older guys that haven't won anything yet, going over there trying to, it's been 92 years or whatever since USA's done anything. So that was kind of the MO from day one. So it felt a little different right from the start.
Tom, I never got asked to play world championships or anything. I was never invited to any of that shit, but it's a long tournament. I don't want to get negative here, but like if
so long.
It's too long, right? If it's
way
too long, right? Let's kick a couple squads out and just make it maybe 10 days or something, eh?
Yeah. I mean, we play seven preliminary games. There's 8 teams on each side, so you're there and for like 26 days, and it's just like day 15 you're like, oh my gosh, you still got 4 more games.
Yeah.
But no, it's a fight. You don't want to be done playing hockey in May, right?
Yeah.
So like it is nice to go over there and play, but they definitely could shorten the tournament up a little bit, but still awesome experience, and getting to go over there and put your the USA crest on it is always special too. So you're never going to turn down that opportunity.
Tom, I'm just curious, like when the season ended for me, when I missed the playoffs, like it was full throttle. Let's get her going, right? Coachella, get her going. When you're going to Worlds, like how much time did you take off after your last regular season? Were you back on the ice a week later? Like how did you get prepared to go over there for a long tournament that you knew you had to play a lot of, round robin games and then get to where you wanted to go? You're going to have to play 3 weeks of hockey.
Yeah, I actually went to Disney to get ready. I took the family there for a week.
Nice.
I knew I was going to be gone I got 2 boys, so I knew I was going to be away from the wife and the kids for, a few weeks there. So I figured take them to Disney, have a good time. And then, went back to Buffalo, skated, I think 3 times before I flew over. And I feel like because the tournament's so long, you don't really need to do much at home. Like you kind of have a training camp when you get there. So it was kind of nice. You get there and you have like 4 practices, exhibition game, knock the rust off and meet the guys. And I feel like that kind of gets you into it right away.
Yeah, that's good karma though. Up dog, the guy's got kids. He takes the family to Disney World. Hockey gods shining down on him like he's a good dad. They go over there when they were off. I believe in that shit.
No, and then there is rust there, right? You got the Walt Disney back. You've been walking.
Bobber's like back's a little tight. I was on the fucking little teacup ride, boys. Jeez.
No, that left side carrying the 2.5-year-old just dripping sweat from the heat in Florida.
Tomer, what could you say about USA Hockey and how they treat you guys when you go over to tournaments like this? Team Canada does an insane job. Bring your families, 5-star hotels, the whole thing. Make you feel like it's a vacation inside a tournament, which, brings out the best in the players. But how is Team USA with all you guys? Is it complete top notch? Does every year get better and better?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty solid. I think they do such a good job, like you said, like bringing the families over. Flying across the country is a big ask, right, for them to pay for. So that's pretty special, especially having like people that you love and care about that are people that have helped get you to where you are to share that experience, especially winning. Like my wife couldn't fly over there because of, she's due in July. So my parents came. So having them over there was probably one of the better experiences that they're going to be able to have, in my playing career, especially with my dad. He doesn't get to watch me live much. So for him to be over there was really special. And then for us to do what we did was, great that I got to share that experience with them.
Tom, I just wanted to ask you, like, when you play in the league and you play against guys, you're like, oh, that guy's not that good of a player. And then you get and play on the same team with guys and practice with them every day. And I guess at the Worlds, everyone's a good player, but where I'm going is what guys kind of jumped out to even more, practice with them every day, playing with them and seeing them for 2 or 3 weeks that you're like, wow, this guy's a better player than maybe I thought he was.
Yeah, I think it's like more the younger guys for me. Like you hear their names, but you don't really see them, especially guys that aren't in the same, conference as you. For me, like that Will Smith kid is a stud. Like we played against him twice all year, so I don't really know. Like I knew his name and, you hear things about him, right? But like you said, seeing him in games and in practices, he surprised me. Like he's got some jam to his game. He's got a little bit of a bite, finishes hits, like plays hard. And then that Frankie Nazar kid too is a rocket ship. But like I didn't really know much about his game. Led our team in goals and points maybe, and maybe even tournament in goals. But had an unreal tournament. Great player, great guy. It's just nice off the ice too, just getting to know these new guys, right? Like you're gonna play against them during the season, and Like hockey is such a small world, you guys know. Just meeting these kids is pretty cool, and getting to follow their careers now too is going to be fun.
Frankie Nazar is 5'10", 190, born in 04. If he's your centerman out there, you're like, you're just towering over this kid. He's just beating you one teeth.
It's a rocket ship, though.
Is he? Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Hey, Tay, just to follow up about your dad, like, all our dads were big influences on us. And, my dad would give me advice, even my 17th year in the league, he's still trying to tell me how to play. But your dad actually played in the league, and, ours didn't. So is your dad still giving me advice after games and all that kind of stuff? I'm always curious on that.
All the time, almost to a fault, but I love it. He's always got hit after every game I play. They've got like a paragraph text of what I needed to do better, and it's good though. I enjoy it. Like, I'd rather have that than him not say anything, right? Like, it means he cares. He wants to see me reach my full potential. And even the other night we're here watching the Stanley Cup finals, and he's just see how they do that. That's what you need. Just little things like that, right? So it's been fun, and I think that's why we're so close too, is we get to share the love of hockey with each other. And it's pretty cool, especially that he was in Anaheim this year, got to play against him a few times, and see him on the benches is pretty cool.
Yeah, Tom, I was just going to ask you, like, how far USA Hockey has come, right? Like, we've become buddies with the Tkachuks and Clayton Keller and a bunch of other guys at USA Hockey. They win the World Juniors this year. You scared the shit out of the boys at the Four Nations, which everyone here believes you should have been part of. You guys win the World Championships. It's Olympic year next year. Like, just how proud are you to be an American player now? And you guys are no longer just as Canadians looking down to you. You guys are fucking right there with everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like growing up watching all like the World Juniors and hockey and stuff, like as American, it was always like a miracle if you could ever pull something off. And now it's like there's not that fear anymore of Canada or any other team. It's like we're the big dog. Like, you look at that Four Nations team, like that roster is stacked. Well, I'd love to have been on it, yeah, of course. But like the fact they have to make decisions like that just speaks to how far USA has come. That they have tough choices to make, which makes it harder to make a team like that, which is, you'd rather have that than be a shoo-in. Like, if you're a USA born, you want to have that internal competition between guys, which I think makes USA Hockey even better. And I think it's only going to keep getting better.
Yeah, I was nervous going to that Four Nations. Remember, I was like, this team's no joke. And like you said, it's a good point by you, Tom. The fact that you guys have that much depth now, that you got, like, they have tough decisions to make, and it's like Canada, right? There could be more than one team out there right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem it. There's bitterness amongst the rivalry now, right? It's brought back. There used to be just it's USA versus Canada. Well, the finals is probably going to be Canada and Russia or something. Now it's like, now there's some bitterness towards
some hatred there.
Yeah, you guys, it's like you've grown up together now, playing, not actually being able to play against each other, Tomer, and now with that chance, it's like, this is for North America. Like, this has so much meaning to those games. And we witnessed it in Montreal. And we're going to witness it again come the Olympics. Tomer, I just wanted to ask you, I had you when you were young in St. Louis, buddy. You came in as our first round pick. Unfortunately, you were stuck on my line, so you couldn't quite.
That'll slow you down, eh? That'll slow you down.
Hit your potential. And
I'm like, your development.
We can't keep you down here much longer, Tomer. What is it now as, getting into, I think you're 8th year, 9th year in the league, you're watching Stanley Cup playoffs like this. You want to be there. You had a big moment just at the World Championships. What does it mean to you to get to the next level with your team and you as a player when you watch like Stanley Cup finals like this?
Yeah, it's honestly tough to watch them. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I love hockey so much, I want to watch it, but at the same time, it just eats you alive that you're not playing in it, or you haven't even played in one. And it's like you said, like, I'm in my 8th or 9th year now. The years start to go by fast, and I still have no playoff games or anything to show for it where I'm playing, meaningful games where that's why you play the game, is to win. And I feel like you come in early, you just, all you're thinking about is, I want to develop my game, I want to get better, I want to try to find a role for myself. And then all of a sudden you're looking, oh, now I gotta win. Like, now is the time to win. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And it's, the last few years have been tough, but I think we have a team that can do it. It's just, I think, just getting over that hump, and it's just a little bit more. There's just percentages more that we need, right? And it's just, I think that looking in the mirror first attitude what can I do better? And then that just has to trickle down the lineup. So I'm at a point now where I'm desperate to win. And I think it's a good thing that I'm in this position. I'm using this as more of fuel to try to help get my game to another level. But yeah, it has been tough not not being in playoffs and watching these games.
Yeah, I will say this, Tom. I played on bad teams, right? Colorado, Tampa. I mean, it sucks, but it does build character, and you go through adversity of how bad it is. That now you want it so bad that you've seen the shitty side of the National League, that it's fueling you to build off of that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason, and that I'm in this situation for another purpose, and that's kind of what I'm looking at this as is an opportunity to grow my game and be a guy that they lean on to help take that step to make the playoffs. And I think with that responsibility, there's a greater demand of things that I need to do in my game, which I'm willing to do, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in this offseason to get myself ready for next year.
Yeah, Tomer, I love your game. Obviously, your size, your reach, your ability to skate, but your shot, man. Listen, I hated blocking shots. I would have fucking hated being on the PK against you. You're over there in that little one-timer letting her go, but was your shot that something came easy to you? Did you work on it a lot? My old man used to be like, work on your shot more. I'm like, don't worry about it. Did you work on it your whole life, or did you just start shooting pucks and being like, wow, this is a weapon?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I was like every other kid. I just shot pucks in their driveway or their garage or whatever. But I found as I got a little bit older, my shot was just naturally better than a lot of guys that I was playing with. And then with that, I think it was just kind of in the summer, just my dad would always come on the ice with me and my brother, and we just work on things. And shooting was always one of the things we focused on along with skating. But just like changing the angle of your shot, getting on and off your stick quick, being able to shoot in uncomfortable situations like positions is just something that I kind of worked on over the years, and it just kind of made my shot that was already good that much better. And I think as you get to the pro level, you kind of find things that work for you as far as like, now you've got the right techniques and the right mechanics of how to shoot a puck properly, and now you're using a stick that you can actually flex and that works with you. And then you get into the science stuff, which I'm a big kind of nerd on the equipment side of things. But yeah, I think the shot's always kind of just been a natural weapon, but something that I've always tried to tinker with and improve on older.
Yeah, no, I just want to follow that up. The shot
You didn't tinker with your fucking sticks. I know that.
I had all my trainers tape them for me. No, but I would say when your shots like that, Tage, it's hard to think.
Weapon.
Yeah, it's hard to think so many times you go in and you're so much more patient than most guys who have a great shot. You come in and it's like you beat a guy and then you have like a great shot and then you just you decide to toe drag 3 more guys and just tuck it in an empty net. It's like some of your goals the last couple of years, have been highlight reel goals, and it's the amount of patience. Have you always had that in your game as a bigger guy? Like, hey, I'm just gonna, I can get one more step on this goalie and just tuck it in the open net rather than taking the shot. Like in your head, have you always thought I could beat this guy with a deke too?
Well, I've always been to be honest with you, I've always been one of the smaller guys growing up. So when I was younger, like I said, my shot was good. It was never like great, but my hands were always kind of what got me through the game. Is I could stick handle and beat guys one-on-one or hold on to the puck as a smaller guy. And then I hit a huge growth spurt and just grew like 4 or 5 inches in 1 year. And then the hands kind of just stuck with me. And then you add that to the shot. Now I feel like it kind of helps me, the fact that people have to respect my shot, which opens up more things for me. So, I'm not premeditating, I'm going to toe drag this guy, but sometimes I put the puck out there like I'm going to shoot it and they reach for it and it just kind of naturally works out that way. But things that kind of fell into place for me, like the hands were just kind of a gift from God, I think, at a young age, and got a little bit bigger, and now I've got size and hands. So
yeah, let me just follow that up quick, just staying on this subject. Your stick, I mean, I used a short stick, but your stick for your size is almost about the same size as mine, and I'm 5'10" on a good day. But just tell me about why your stick's so short. Is it so you can pull it into your feet and change angles, and just a little touch on that?
Yeah, I've always found that for me, like I've always had better hands with a short stick. I've always used a short stick since I was younger, just for my hands. And I feel like because of that, you can get the puck into your feet. And like I said, I wasn't a big guy, so like getting the puck in tight to my body was always important for me. So now that I'm bigger, I think having that reach, I don't really need a long stick. I naturally have a long reach. So if I can get the puck into my feet, it's just a lot tougher for defense. And I feel like if I can shoot a puck from in tight to my body, it's a lot harder if I put it out wide and then pull it into my feet and shoot. But I use like a really short stick, kind of comes up to like, I'd say like my collarbone area. When I'm not on skates, probably like, yeah, right around that area. So it's really short. And I use like a really high lie. It's like 6.5. So it's the whole blade is on the ice basically when I have my stick in tight. So just like little things like that you kind of mess with and find what works out for you as you get, year by year, you kind of talk to other players too, just see what they like and try it out. And if it works for you, then you just stick with it.
Tomer, when I watch you play, a guy like Jack Eichel, to me is a guy that, I think you should build your game around. Is he someone you look up to, or is there other centermen in the league that you watch? I know it's a long season with 82 games, but is there centermen out there that you try to build your game around? Is Jack Eichel one of the guys to me? Because I see a lot of similarities in your guys' game.
Yeah, I think the fact that I got to play with him too, like just watch him in Buffalo, I think was very beneficial for my game and my career, practicing with him, practicing against him. Just watching him in games, how hungry he is to be a winner, how hungry he is to be the best player on the ice. Like, he demands the puck. And I was like, man, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be the guy that like the team needs and the team leans on. And for me, like, that was someone who I loved watching play, like when I was in Buffalo. It was kind of just one of those things from afar, right? You just kind of pick up pieces, and I just love the power to his game. He's so strong, so fast, but he's got an unbelievable shot hands. Like, he's got it all right. So I think that's a perfect guy for everybody to emulate.
Yeah, and his 200-foot games come a long way too, right? When you watch Ikes play nowadays, that's I'm like, this guy, like, I thought he had, not that we get a vote, but I thought and he was in the Selke mix, but he was that good defensively all year.
Yeah, and I think he realized it took him a while, but he realized now on a different team, they rely on him to be that guy, right? Both ways, which is why he was a Conn Smythe, guy that was right in the mix a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Tomer, you guys had a great finish in Buffalo. Down the stretch, you guys played your best hockey of the year. But when I look at your team, your back end, I love Bull Byram. We know Bull from his time in Colorado, but Darlene, Owen Power, like, as a centerman, when you look at that back end, it takes some time, as you know it. And like you said, you guys are growing, but you got to be excited with the guys back there, the way they can move the puck. They're learning how to play the right way defensively, and the sky's the limit for all those guys back there.
Yeah, I mean, I think our average age on our back end was 24, 25 maybe. I mean, you guys probably looked that up, but we had, I think, one of the youngest D-core in the league, and they're all unbelievable players. Like, you got Darlene, who is, I think, going to be a Hall of Famer, one of a kind. The stuff he can do is ridiculous. I don't think a lot of people even know, like, they get to see it in games, but they don't get to see every day, like, his habits away from the rink, what he does in the gym, him as a leader. Like, he's for real. And then you got Owen Power, who's just a monster of a human and has got the patience of a saint. Like, he can hold on to the puck forever and sees the ice extremely well. Our back end is rock solid. It's a young group that needs to mature, and that's, I mean, unfortunately, with the situation we're now, it has to happen sooner than later, right? But definitely a lot of talent on that back end, and a lot of good guys, good teammates. You could go down our entire roster, so it's an exciting back end for sure, and one that I love playing with.
Yeah, I just want to touch on your head coach, Lindy Ruff. I've never had him personally, but always heard some great things about him. Just kind of wondering what your relationship was and how he's kind of, molding you guys into becoming, hopefully a playoff team sooner than later.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think the one thing we asked for, and I love Donnie too. Like, I've got nothing but good things to say about Donnie, but with Lindy coming in, he was saying that he was going to be very hard on us, and we were asking for accountability. And I think, that's kind of what we wanted. We wanted to be held accountable for things we were doing on the ice. If you're putting making a play at the blue line, it's turning over and going the other way. Like, that's stuff that's not winning hockey. Like, that needs to be addressed. So I like the fact that that's something that we've kind of instilled in the game. And obviously still have a young group and it needs to clean up and get better. But he's been great. He's been around Buffalo. He's won. He knows what he's talking about. So I think having him is a good anchor behind the bench for sure.
I always say with Lindy, I'd like to take 24 blue lights and just go sit in his office with him and just talk hockey. Like, there you go, Lindy. Let's talk some hockey here, fella. Let's talk about the Dominator back in the day.
He's an unreal guy.
Yeah,
He was our coach at World Championships, and
He's got some good stories.
yeah, I bet he does.
sitting in the room, Tomer, the championship's so long, whatever. We're sitting in the room, and Colby Armstrong pulled up on YouTube Cam Neely just absolutely destroying Lindy Ruff in a fight back.
Seabass.
And he put Lindy in like a tough position where Lindy was like, "Oh fuck, look at that scum ass kick." But then Army put on a video of him getting the absolute shit kicked out of him by it was Shistov or someone. Like it was some Russian just grabbed Army and pumped him. So to make fun of one guy, our coach at the time, to show a video of you getting your ass kicked was pretty
Tick for tat, eh? Tick for tat. Tomer, I wanted to ask you about the old red and black jerseys you boys wear. They look sharp on there. I'm just curious, when the boys see them or you're here in the morning skate, you're wearing them, do you get fired up? Because growing up, I was a Leafs fan. Those were the Buffalo Sabres jerseys they wore. We never really liked Buffalo because the Dominator, and they were just good, Rob Ray. But when you boys wear them now, I'm not going to lie, I like them. They're sharp.
Yeah, they're my favorite. I wish we wore them every game, to be honest with you. But it's at least for me, when I walk in, I see like the black Jays hanging up. It just, I don't know, something about the black and red. Like, I think any team that just wears black and red, it's just a nice look, except for Canada.
It's a great logo.
Good save, one. Good save. Tomer, I wanted to ask you just about the city. Listen, you got great fans in Buffalo. There's Bills Mafia there, which you guys get to see, and I do believe your team's coming. But we're coming to Buffalo in December with our good friends at Labatt Blue. So. My question is Chippewa Street still humming? That was on the road. I'd like to go in there for a couple cold ones. Do any of the younger single guys hang out there? Is it Chippewa still got a good buzz to it at times?
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know. I've been hearing that there's some new spots around town, but Chippewa is where I was like my first few years there. It's a staple in Buffalo. I don't think it'll ever go away, but I feel like our younger guys now are in more of like Allentown and like Elmwood. Which has got some good spots too. If there's one thing Buffalo can do, it's wings and beers. Yeah. There's no shortage of spots in Buffalo to go for those. But yeah, Chippewa is always humming. Gotta say, I haven't been there in a while, but it's always a fun spot. I really enjoy Buffalo. I mean, it does get a lot of flack. Probably not the greatest road city for teams coming in, but to be there with a family and to kind of just have that lifestyle. It's pretty laid back, slow pace of living. It's a good spot to play and raise a family and just comfortable to live in. So I do enjoy my time there.
Yeah, every guys I played with throughout my career that played in Buff said the same thing, Tom. Taylor Pyatt's a guy that jumps out at me.
Fact Daddy liked it.
The Fact Daddy liked it.
Yeah.
He likes beer, so.
We're big Josh Allen fans here, me and Obes.
I like Joey Burrow more, but yeah. Well, he's getting more trim. But yeah, I like Josh Allen.
I know. Well, he brought you to the finals in the championship this year. But do you see any of the games? Have you ever been to a Bills Mafia game? The fans are fucking nuts there, jumping off Bill.
Nuts.
Carbs off.
They're nuts.
Yeah.
Have you been to a game?
My first experience at a tailgate there was people jumping through tables. They had the ketchup and mustard guys spraying people. And that was my first NFL experience, too. I'd never been to an NFL game before, so I didn't know what I was walking into. I've been a few times since. We usually go like the beginning of each year. The last year, I think we went down to the field and saw like Josh Allen, like the team came up and watched them kind of warm up, which was pretty sweet. And I've been to a couple playoff games there. I think the one against KC when they lost with the last drive, like Mahomes went down and won with like 40 seconds left. That was probably the coolest sporting event I've ever been to. Wrong side of it, unfortunately, but still sick atmosphere.
Yeah.
Nothing like Bills Mafia though. It's crazy.
It certainly is, buddy. I just want last one for me, but I was lucky enough to train with you and your brother back in the day before I retired, and I was always impressed on how hard you guys worked. Like, you guys were just beasts in the gym, just killing yourselves, all the squats, and, was putting me to shame at my age. But I just kind of wonder what your summer plans are. I know you just got back from Worlds, but what's your kind of summer look like, and how do you gear up for the season?
Yeah, with Worlds, I probably won't get on the ice until July. Probably take some time off the sheet, but back in the gym right now, just kind of ramping things up. And this summer's a little different because my wife's due in July, so we'll be back in Buffalo actually for July and August. I'm just out here for June, so right now is kind of just like gen prep. I think just kind of getting the body ready for the real stuff in July and August, and try to golf and get as much of that in as I can right now. But I think usually when like July hits is kind of when I start to get into full gear.
Yeah, don't forget, rest is a weapon, Tom? Rest is a weapon, fella.
It is until you have your third kid. Yeah. Are you having a boy or a girl for your third, bud? You have 2 boys now. What are you having?
I got 2 boys now. I'm having a girl for the third, so it's a little different animal.
Boy.
Wow, congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tomer, last one for me, buddy. We've talked about how you've been in the league now for a while. When it comes to, this is the first time I've talked to you. You seem like a glue guy. You seem like you got it figured out. When you're a leader in that dressing room, I know things have been tough. Like when you're playing on bad teams, the last thing you want is a guy to come in the room in between the first and second and be like, "Come on, boys, we got to be better." We're like, "No shit." But how do you lead? Is vocal in the gym, like Richie said, on the ice? What kind of leader are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning. Like, this was my first year wearing a letter, and obviously you can be a leader without a letter. But I've always tried to just lead by example, just do my thing, and hopefully if I'm doing the right things and my habits are good, guys will follow. And then obviously I think when you're in a game, I think the emotions kind of take over and you just react. And for me, sometimes I snap and sometimes I yell, maybe to a fault, but I would like to think that a lot of guys respect that, and I'd rather have that from a guy than someone who just sits there. I think Dolls is someone that I've looked up to as a leader, and someone that I think kind of does all the things the right way, whether it's vocal when it needs to be, whether it's just playing the game hard in the right way all the time and in the gym. So he's kind of someone I just try to follow in his footsteps and help along the way where I can. So like I said, something I'm still learning, but I just try to let the action speak.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good for you, buddy. Listen, we're pulling for you and the boys in Buffalo. If you guys need some blue lights, if Lindy needs some blue lights in his beer fridge, reach out. We'll get some delivered to him. But have a great summer. Have a great summer, buddy, and good luck next year. And good things ahead for you, my man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, Richie fella. Uppy, thank you for locking down Tage Thompson. First time, I know you guys knew him. First time I got to talk to him. Love his game, obviously. And now that I've got to talk to him, pulling for him even more. He seems like a good guy, locker room guy, and saying all the right things. He's been through some adversity, and I think he's going to come out on the other end. And I think the world's a nice feather in his cap.
Yeah, I think it shines a light on just the kid he's turned into be. He's one that plays the game hard. And when you asked him about what type of leader he is, I think he's grown into a guy that wants to be the guy on the ice at all the time. When I played with him, he was young. He was quiet. He was in a room with a lot of older guys, and you can tell he wasn't quite ready to be the top 6 forward he was now. And I'm sure he learned a bunch from those leaders then.
And he wasn't quite ready to play on your line for 82 games, was he?
Well, no. Tough to keep up with the Updog, Richie.
He's like, Uppy, slow down. Holy fuck, man.
So, no, I just, I like to see the growth in kids. And I can just tell, Tomer now is 9 years in the league. He's probably, going 28, 29 years old. He's on his way to his third kid. He's a guy that you can use, this experience at World Championships and this goal he just scored and this, the group he was just with to bring into a fresh season with the Buffalo Sabres and to come in with a bigger voice and a chance to win an Olympic gold medal for the USA. And Richie, you worked out with him. You've probably seen the kid go from someone quiet in the gym when he's younger to now a guy that probably wants to show the younger players what it is to be an NHLer and work that much harder.
For sure. And like the thing I like about this kid is he has like a respect for his the older players. He has like a real respect for the game. You can tell he came from a great family. His brother's an amazing kid. And I think Buffalo's pretty lucky to have him. It's we all know how hard it is to find a big number one center. And that's the only way it can really win in this league, to be honest. So he's a guy, and I think he knows what he's got. He's got to change his game probably a little bit in some ways to really take that next step. But I think he's willing to put the work in. I've seen it firsthand, and I couldn't believe how hard this kid worked. And it was impressive, and it was really, really great to have him on and see him again.
And no one bags on the World Championships more than I do, but him is a perfect example of why you do go over there, right? Got snubbed on the Four Nations team, should have been on that squad, goes over there, scores the gold medal, winning goal. And now I'm sure if you ask Billy Guerin and the boys, he'll be on that team in the Olympics. So thanks to Tage Thompson, Sabres fans. I think good things ahead. Hang in there. We'll see you on Chippewa Street in December. Updog, Richie Fellow, thank you, boys. Hall Pass Media, Kyle, Casey Conway, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.